How big in your mind is hosting the Wildcard Game? I think it's big.
I think it's important. I think it's a credit to our fan base. I think that they deserve it and they've earned it, and I think that it's important for them and just strategically, to win a baseball game, you have a better chance of winning a home game than a road game. So. And the Brewers play well at home, so that when that dome closes, it gets really loud in there, and I think it's important to try and win out to play a home game, and not only baseball wise, but for our fan base because they've earned it and they deserve it.
All right, so all that being said, it's what we debated for the first hour of the show. Let's say, for whatever reason, everything's hanging in the balance on that Sunday in terms of home field. Do you stick with the rotation the way it's currently set up and go ahead and throw Max there, even though you've idea is for Max to start the Wild home field is riding on it? Would you go ahead and pitch Max there?
Well, we would have to discuss that, but to go back to my previous comment, it's important to win that game. Fortunately, we have the luxury that we have three number one starters on this club, and I feel comfortable going to war with any of those three guys in a wild card game. So I think that'll go into our strategy. We want to win as many games as we can in the regular season. We're gonna play hard, throughout and get prepared for that game, and we'll see where it takes us after that. But I think it's important for our fan base to see if we can play a home playoff game.
Who holds the tiebreaker between you and Milwaukee if you guys are tied?
I believe they do. I think they're 4-2 against us this year or something like that. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
How do you guys see Max over the last month? Because the numbers aren't there. At times, he's striking out guys and has looked uber impressive, but the numbers aren't where they were prior to him going on the injured list.
He's getting closer and closer each and every time. It's a pitch here or there. He left a cutter up to Miller that hit it out, and then a low fastball that he hit out. So. But the stuff was good. The velocity is there. He gets the swing and misses, and his 5-pitch mix is he's getting sharper and sharper with it, and it all starts with fastball command with Max, and he's we've got there's not one of them, believe me.
You know the answer. Do you know who your best starter is in that ballpark this year? Statistically.
Our best starter.
Yep, statistically.
Yes, I believe I do. It just depends on what analytic and what statistic you go by, but there's a bunch of good ones. I know that.
Talking about in Milwaukee?
No, in Nats Park.
Oh.
I'll tell you who it is. It's Patrick Corbin.
Mm-hmm.
He's got a 1.97 ERA and I believe batting average against is 191 in that ballpark.
Yeah, he's been outstanding for us this whole season, and he's a great compliment to our big two right-handers, and he's again we feel comfortable rolling any one of those guys out there. It's a luxury that few teams have, and we're lucky enough to be able to run three quality number one type of starters out each and every time you play in the playoffs.
How close was Corbin to signing with the Yankees before you landed him with the Nats? Because I remember reports where it basically had him signed, sealed, and delivered to the Yankees, and then the Nats came in and you guys grabbed him. How close was it for him not signing with the Nats?
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly with a percentage or something like that. He's a New York kid. He's from Syracuse area, and he grew up a Yankee fan. But he really liked what we had to offer here. Mark Lerner and I took him out to dinner, he and his wife, Jen, and we showed him the city. We showed him what what the ballpark was like, what the area around the ballpark was like, what living in D.C. means to the citizens of it. And we it was a recruiting mission. There's no question about it. We mapped out a vision that we've had here, and we showed him our minor league prospects, what the team's going to look like 1, 3, 5 years down the road, and had an extremely nice dinner at a nice restaurant in Georgetown, and to get into the restaurant that night, we had to go through a metal detector because the Vice President of the United States was in the house. And,
nice.
not many cities can say that.
Yeah.
Right. Mike, I'm just trying to drill down on this, sort of the importance of winning home field. We know that in a one-game playoff or any playoff situation, it's elimination game. It's all hands on deck. You guys won't stop at anything. But when you're competing, let's say it comes down to that Sunday, and you're competing to win that home field. Is it the same situation? All hands on deck. You could bring in a Strauss or somebody, or a Corbin or somebody in relief. Would that scenario play out just in trying to secure home field, or is that not quite as important?
I would think it's a hypothetical, and I don't like those hypotheticals. But I think in that kind of scenario, I think that we would definitely save a starter to pitch the next day, obviously, and
Right.
And it would be all hands on deck,
Other than
with
that
the
guy.
exception of that guy. And I don't know who it is yet, but we know that we would probably set aside one of our big three to pitch the wildcard game.
Right. Makes sense.
So you guys were 2-4 against Milwaukee. We kind of went through the numbers. Corbin pitched really well against them. Don't know what part of the season that was. He went 6 innings, allowed 1 run. He did have 4 walks, but he struck out 8. I think we went through the other starters, too, against Milwaukee.
They were fine.
But in terms of the splits, like, how does Milwaukee do against lefties versus righties? Have you looked that up?
They're when they had Yelich and Moustakas, obviously there's a big left-handed presence in that lineup. So lefties were effective with them. We haven't really drilled down into the numbers yet and kind of the strategy session. Don't forget, we were swept in Milwaukee with a team that was it was like an emergency room team.
Right,
it was
right.
The lineup you wouldn't have noticed today. So we don't feel that that's indicative of how we're going to play them. They've got a really good team. They've got a great bullpen, and we think we match up well with them, and we're confident that we can win playoff game with Milwaukee.